And this is my argument. Let us move from whether neocolonialism exists or not. I think we are already past that. It exists. It is here. We see the effects of it day after day. It is not the reason for underdevelopment in Africa. It is a factor. It plays out very clearly. The reason for underdevelopment cannot be put into one box. And I am saying the same things that we are talking about. Your leaders going to pay penance and to seek authority or to seek acquiescence on going to then get a seat in government tomorrow. You give an example of Nigeria. Nigeria had 3 oil refineries in the 80s and were able to refine, again, the smooth crude that is the darling of the Western nations, because then you don't have to do so much to refine it. 3 oil refineries in the time of 20 years had gone under because of corruption, because of mismanagement. Where was the hand of the West playing in Babangida's government when that was being run to the ground? Today, they have to take the crude that is drilled in Nigeria, send it out, bring it back in. I thank you for that example because it is a brilliant one of what I'm talking about today. What example will you give and say, well, okay, you have 3 oil refineries in Nigeria, you run them to the ground, you take the money that is supposed to and line your pockets with it, so much so that people have bundles of money sitting in their houses until the economic agencies do not even know what to do on how to fight corruption. Are those the things that we're talking about today? We're talking about an entrenched system of government that is run by individuals, live, blood-thumping, heart-beating individuals, human beings. They've come again. Maybe some would say they never left. But are we lying down and saying, just because you have said this and you have the powerful hand of the Western nations, that we are going to lie down and take it lying down? And that is my problem today. That we do not look at the issues as to why undevelopment really happens. We can look at the big picture of the nation, but the granular matters. The man who coined the phrase that the devil is in the details knew exactly what he was talking about. Because you get down to the county level. Why did Turkana get education 40 years after independence? Why did that happen? Why are we looking at a situation today where many have said the leaders of DRC Congo, for example, continue to shake hands at the back door with the Belgians and the French and the people who continue to colonize them till today? Is it that they do not see the millions of people who are suffering? Is it that they do not see that the education system in the country needs to get better? Is it that they do not see the drones of people who continue to leave the streets of Kinshasa every day and land in Paris? You think they do not know? Where is their hand when it comes to making sure that education is working at the micro level? And I am saying it is here with us, but what are we doing about it? If we do not stand up and face the reality in the face, then we will go back to the 50s and the 40s when they came and did as they liked. When they took our land and they took our children and we gave them our religion, we took our religion for that. Why? Why do we continue to look and say, okay, they're coming again, but we're just going to lie down and allow them to take it, and that is my problem.
I'll be given a chance to correct.
And that is my problem.
You know, let me tell you that one of the most important evidence in any academic or philosophical argument is called falsification evidence. And let me say that by saying that first there's what they call confirmatory evidence, which you can confirm the earth, the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. Since we're born, it's true, isn't it? One single day the sun will rise from west to go to the east. No one will say, on a single instance, that the sun rises from east and sets in the west. And you're falling prey to that because you are telling us what ought to be. We ought to. But we have to start with the reality. What's the reality? What is, like you said, that neocolonialists are keeping us poor. That's what is. What ought to be is that now we need to change that narrative.
The reason why neocolonialism has kept Africans poor until, and this, we're saying the same thing if you want to look at it right now. The reason why this poverty has continually been, which you have agreed that it is a factor. But I am saying another factor that plays in here very clearly is that you look at this thing, it's coming for you. An 18-wheeler is coming down the road, you look at it, you watch it, and you're saying it's getting closer and closer. And you say, now I am beginning to sweat. Should you jump out of the way or should you stand in the road and let this thing take you out?
Which chance do you have?
And this is my question, and that's the thing. Because I believe it was Bob Marley who said that we are still in this state of mental poverty. It's mental. This is not physical. This is not taking the money, as you said, out of the bank. This is mental. To think that really these examples that they're giving, these offers that they're giving, that we have to take them. And that is the problem. That we are stuck in that mindset where you say, it is absolutely necessary for me to hear what this man or this woman woman is offering, the way they came and they offered their education, they came and they offered their religion, they came and they offered their system of government and their system of education.
Let me make my point.
And now we are saying, because they've brought it, we must take it, and that's ludicrous.
Let me make my point here by saying that by accepting reality first is important. And let me talk about with life example. I am born to 11, I'm in a family of 11 kids. My mother was just a housewife, and my father was a catechist. He earned 1,500 a month. To bring up 11 kids is not easy. If I accepted that that is the reality, I had to look for a solution, and that's what I did, because I got my scholarship throughout, and I'm not a professor out of school fees for my parents. If I was to say that I think we are okay, we would still be okay. I don't want to have okay life. And I went to look for a solution, but first accepting my reality, because my cousin told me, Fred, your last school is primary school. He made me realize that that's the truth. If I had to rely on my parents' income, I would have just had my last school in primary school. So I want to confirm also.
This is exactly what, thank you very much. This is exactly what I'm saying. Because now you can imagine, I hope and I would pray that the folks who watch this debate are in a position to put you in a place of government would actually take it very seriously. Because you are the one who has said just now, you have seen the situation. You know that that is the reality. But did you sit on your laurels? Did you sit on your laurels and say, I'm going to allow this whole thing encapsulate
I wanted to understand
you decided that you were going to do something about it.
I want you to understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
If you say it's not the reason, if you believe it's not the reason, you are avoiding to see reality. When I saw this is the reason, then I did something about it. So I'm calling upon Africans and African leaders to see the reason. It's called fishbone analysis. Cause of causes. Causa causarum in Latin. What is the cause of causes? The cause of causes begins from there. If we don't remove the cause, the effect continues. And by trying to deny by saying it is not the reason, it's just an excuse, then what is the reason? Because if you go for a reason by saying it is our lack of mindset, these guys are not free, and they are not free to do what they want to do, because why are they not free? Money. When I'm controlling your pocket, I'm controlling everything. In fact, in any household, when a man has more income than a woman, a man is in control. And the opposite is the same. Even I am the sixth born in my family. I seem to earn more than others, seemingly. They call me daddy. I'm not a daddy. I've been installed as a little elder, too young, because others don't have the money. So money is important, and the Western people are giving you the money that is financing you. And therefore, you are not free. Until we change the global financial architecture of the world, others are just piecemeal solutions to what is the core of the problem, which is neocolonialism.